it's weird that we're even talking about
Right.
it.
100%.
That the fucking guy from Disney is going to fight Mike Tyson, the YouTube kid.
Oh, okay, the guy's 57 years old, but he's a former undisputed world heavyweight king, and one guy plays computers for a living, and he's come to boxing about a year ago, so pretty even man.
But he can still kick some. There's no doubt about it.
Boxing pros have just predicted the outcome of the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, and you guys need to be ready because there are some shocking predictions here. So, Canelo Alvarez has made it abundantly clear that he harbors no inclination towards the impending bout.
Not really, not even interested.
No, nothing.
Do you think it's good for boxing, not good for boxing?
No.
There's a history between Paul and Canelo, with Paul frequently challenging Canelo to a fight. While Canelo has become more accepting of the online sensation's role in boxing, he remains firm in stating that they will not face off in the ring. Canelo did find a silver lining in the situation, noting the positive aspect of Netflix hosting the event on its platform.
A lot of people think that Netflix is good for boxing.
I think Netflix is good for boxing, but at that special fight, I think Netflix is doing something wrong there. I think Netflix being involved, yes, is good, but no in that kind of fights.
However, Canelo views it as a significant missed opportunity for the streaming giant to have Paul versus Tyson as its debut event. As for boxing matches he's looking forward to, there's one bout that has Canelo's full attention: his upcoming fight against Jaime Munguia.
I think it's more show than a fight.
And he wins his last fight, and he of course calls you out, and then 2 days later he's fighting a near 60-year-old Mike Tyson.
Yeah. At this point, I'm not interested in that kind of fights. I always try to fight in these days because, you know, it's very important for our people from Mexican.
Manny Pacquiao also shared his thoughts on the matchup between Paul and Tyson. Following the fight's announcement, Tyson boldly claimed he would terminate Paul's boxing journey, and it appears that Pacquiao concurs with his stance. Moreover, Pacquiao remains steadfast in his belief in Mike's prowess. When questioned about the possibility of Paul defeating 57-year-old Tyson, Manny responded by saying he doesn't think so.
What do you think of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson? That fight just got announced. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. They're gonna fight, huh? Yes, they're gonna fight. Do you think Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson? I don't think so.
Anthony Joshua believes that youth will prevail over experience when Jake Paul takes on Mike Tyson this summer. The ex-heavyweight title holder, however, expresses concern for Iron Mike's well-being as he prepares to face an opponent 3 decades his junior. When asked to pick a winner in the crossover clash, Joshua told the Jonathan Ross Show, "Mike Tyson is older now. I pray that he comes out healthy. I think Jake Paul wins because of youth. That's the only thing." The clash between Paul and Tyson emerges as the freshest spectacle in the realm of blockbuster boxing, showcasing a retired veteran fighter squaring off against an influencer. Quizzed on his thoughts about the increase in popularity of influencer boxing matches, Joshua replied, "I personally think it's really good. I think the boxing hardcores, they don't like it because they think, why are they disrespecting our sport? But I think that person brings all these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else. Everyone viewing helps." British boxing legend Ricky Hatton didn't hold back when asked about Mike Tyson's controversial fight with Jake Paul. Hatton, a former champion in 2 weight classes, has expressed disapproval of the bout and the persisting phenomenon of YouTube personalities transitioning into the realm of professional boxing. Speaking to Instant Casinos, Hatton said, "I get the pushing and the shoving and the name-calling and holding each other back, but some of the great champions of old will be turning in the grave, watching that, to be honest with you." He acknowledged that the current world is focused on entertainment, where YouTubers face MMA fighters and MMA fighters challenge boxers, and he believes that such a world can coexist. Hatton added, "I'll be turning in my grave and watching it myself, but I've got my eyes open in the sense that this is the world that we're in now. We're in the entertainment business. YouTubers against MMA and MMA against boxers? I think that world can exist." Hatton clarified that he isn't dismissing the entertainment value of these matchups, acknowledging that their popularity stems from people's desire to see them. Hatton said, "As long as fights like Garcia, Crawford, and Spence, Fury, and Usyk happen, as long as those fights are made, they can stay in their world and we'll stay in our world. Both can exist. I'm not turning around and saying, oh, this is a joke. We're in the entertainment world, but let them have their world and will have our world. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia senses that Jake possesses the capability to overcome opponents of inferior skill, yet doubts his chances against adversaries with a prestigious pedigree, such as Mike Tyson. He said, "It's a money fight. It's up to you guys to take it seriously. It's entertainment, and I understand that Mike is not a guy that plays around. He's going to take it seriously." Ryan remains steadfast in his conviction that Tyson's lineage, formidable strength, imposing stature, and remarkable swiftness will overwhelm Paul, a newcomer to the cruiserweight scene who has yet to contend with opponents of significant caliber throughout his career. He said, "As far as boxing, Jake can beat fighters that are 10-0. If the fight plays out like I think it will play out, I think Jake will get badly hurt, but it's not something to look down on Jake for. He's stepping in the ring with a heavyweight, Mike Tyson. I know Mike is almost 60, but you gotta respect that. Age is just a number, and if anyone is going to be able to do it, it's going to be Mike." Amir Khan issued a warning to Jake Paul, not holding back in his reaction to the surprising news that Tyson would be facing the YouTuber-turned-boxer. The contentious bout has caused a rift among boxing enthusiasts, with former lightweight unified champion Amir Khan now weighing in on the debate. Speaking to Gambling Zone, he said, "The fight between Tyson and Paul, wow, no one would have ever expected a fight like that fight to be made. Tyson is a legend of the game and not someone who you want to mess about with, even though he's older now and has been retired for a long time. He's obviously done a few exhibitions." Despite widespread criticism aimed at Paul for challenging a competitor nearly 3 times his age during his peak physical condition, Khan has chosen to dissent by issuing a stern caution to the YouTube sensation. Khan explained, "I just feel that he can really hurt Jake Paul. I just can't believe what Jake Paul's thinking. He's fighting a heavyweight great, and I think he can get hurt badly." Khan expressed concern that Mike might end up causing harm to Jake, noting that while he likes Jake, Mike is not someone to trifle with. Khan said, "This is unreal, and I hope that Mike doesn't end up hurting him, because at the end of the day, I like Jake, but Mike is not a person you want to mess with or do an exhibition with, especially when you're a lot smaller and lighter." Additionally, Khan stated that he's unsure about how the fight will unfold and finds the situation surprising. He added, "I don't know how this is going to go. Is it really going to happen? It amazes me, and I'm shocked. I've got Mike Tyson winning by knockout. Even though he's in his 50s, he's still a dangerous guy not to be messed with." On the other hand, Tyson Fury has hailed the contentious upcoming bout between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson as a boon for the sport of boxing, despite facing criticism from several of his fellow fighters regarding the unexpected pairing. The Gypsy King has expressed support for Tyson's return to boxing, considering his fight against Paul to be a closely matched contest.
You know, I think it's fantastic for boxing. You know, you've got a legend in Mike Tyson. You've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views and millions of eyes, good, bad or indifferent. Some people love him, some people hate him. So I think it's a really good spectacle for boxing. It brings a lot of people to the game.
Tyson Fury emphasized the differences between the two fighters. Mike Tyson, a boxing legend, and Jake Paul, who, although originally known as a YouTuber, has had a substantial impact on boxing by attracting a large audience. Fury noted that despite varying opinions about Paul, the event is advantageous as it draws significant attention to the sport, introducing numerous new fans to boxing.
And listen, who am I to say, oh, Mike Tyson shouldn't be boxing or Jake Paul shouldn't be boxing? Good luck to them. They're both going to make what I call a ton of money out of it. So isn't that what it's about?
Yeah, 80,000 fans. I mean, what a spectacle it'll be.
Yeah, I've been to that stadium when Billy Joe fought Canelo. It's a great stadium. It'd be fantastic for the guys. Both getting paid, both going to put on a show. I just don't know what's not to like.
Fury continued by taking a non-judgmental approach towards the match's participants, questioning his right to criticize Mike Tyson or Jake Paul for their involvement in boxing. He wished them luck and highlighted the significant financial gain they stood to make from the event. Moreover, Fury emphasized the advantages for both fighters, noting that they would receive substantial compensation while also offering entertainment. He stated that he couldn't see any drawbacks and suggested that the event was something fans and participants could look forward to.
Listen, from being a kid on the Disney Channel to fighting Mike Tyson, who wouldn't want to do that?
Despite the disparities, Fury indicated that the matchup appears to be fairly balanced in terms of public interest and spectacle. While recognizing criticism from some who view the event as lacking in quality, Fury speculated that these very critics would probably still watch the fight. He concluded by wondering who wouldn't be intrigued by such an unconventional and high-profile matchup. Meanwhile, Tony Bellew, once crowned the WBC Cruiserweight champion, has shared his perspective on the upcoming bout, acknowledging Tyson's motivations while also expressing his Tyson's apprehension about the fight. Speaking to SpinBet, as per Boxing Social, Bellew said, "I am worried about it personally. But listen, you don't know what's been agreed between the two. It's frightening that Mike Tyson is going back into a boxing ring against somebody who is more than 30 years younger than him. It's just a bit nuts." Bellew expresses his wish for the fight to be choreographed in a manner that safeguards Tyson from harm. This further illuminates the perspective of professional boxers on this bout. Once more, Jake Paul has asserted his dominance as the foremost subject in the realm of boxing. Bellew said, "I'm hoping that the fight is a bit of a circus and a bit scripted, because I wouldn't want to see Mike get hurt in any way, shape, or form. Let's see what happens. He is going to be getting paid an awful lot of money, and nobody has the right to stop him from doing that." Tyron Woodley firmly believes that despite the hefty 30-year age gap, 57-year-old Mike Tyson has what it takes to triumph over 27-year-old Jake Paul. Woodley's confidence in Tyson's abilities remains unwavering, emphasizing that age is merely a number in this anticipated showdown. He said, "I mean, I've been in the ring twice with Jake, and I don't want to get in the ring once with f***ing Mike." Tyson undoubtedly ranks among the most intimidating figures to have entered the boxing ring, yet at nearly 60 years old, he faces Jake, who is currently at the zenith of his athletic prowess. Nevertheless, Woodley firmly believes that experience outweighs age in this particular scenario. Woodley said, "Age is not a factor. That's a wash. Experience level is obviously going to go to Mike Tyson." Woodley remains steadfast in his stance. According to him, should Paul emerge victorious against the formidable Iron Mike, he unquestionably merits an immense amount of recognition. Woodley added, "If Jake Paul beats Mike, I don't give a f*** if he's 70. You're gonna have to put at last an ounce of respect on his name." Woodley further added that Tyson was programmed as a machine of war, and even though he was much younger, he doesn't think Paul has what it takes to prevail in front of an international audience when they square off at Jerry's World this summer. He said, "Mike Tyson, right now off muscle memory alone, could step on the wrong eggshell and let off a combination that could kill most people. He has the power and ability to shift organs in your body if he hits you with the right force. So I think he forgot more techniques than Jake Paul has ever learned in his life." Former Pittsburgh Steelers player turned boxer Le'Veon Bell thinks the next bout will be won via knockout. Bell believes Iron Mike will have a strong showing early on, but will eventually tire and get knocked out. Bell's idea appears to be centered mostly on Tyson and Paul's age difference. Bell tweeted, "He's going to be able to do that for about 30 seconds in round 1. Then he will be tired and get knocked out, but I'm not surprised that this is the perspective from people who don't fully understand boxing." Meanwhile, after confirming multiple times that this matchup is indeed legitimate, it comes as no shock that Francis Ngannou's support naturally gravitates towards Tyson. Ngannou commented that he would be there to support Mike.
Mike Tyson will be boxing Jake Paul on July 20th in Texas. You've obviously become close with Mike over the last little bit. What do you think of that?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if it's real.
It's real.
Yeah, I look at it and then they said it's on Netflix, so I thought it's gonna be some sort of movie that they were making or something. So I don't know. So let's not make any speculation. Let's see how it comes out, if it's like real and if it's gonna be a good fight.
In all honesty, Ngannou may have hesitated upon being reminded that Paul is 30 years his junior and Tyson will be 58 when the battle takes place. However, on the other hand, Ngannou stated that Mike can still kick some ass without a doubt.
But either way, if it comes out to be true, of course, I'll be there to support Mike.
Paul's recent forays into the boxing ring have somewhat diminished in prestige, primarily due to his choice of opponents being former MMA fighters rather than seasoned boxers. Nevertheless, his bouts continue to captivate audiences, shining a spotlight on the sport in a manner that eludes many established boxers. With Netflix's widespread accessibility, Chris Mannix, a boxing analyst for DAZN, predicts that the upcoming match will attract the highest viewership in boxing history for decades. Mannix said, "The last couple of fights, Jake Paul has been going down the traditional boxing path. Paul is now facing the difficult decision to return to boxing. And he's going up against Mike Tyson, who is possibly the biggest boxing celebrity in history." Mannix believed that this event has the potential to be unlike any other and could possibly become the most viewed boxing event ever, estimating that it could attract 100 million viewers. He emphasized that regardless of opinions about the fight's quality in the ring, the audience for this event would be incredibly large. According to Mannix, "I didn't think a Tyson fight was going to happen, but here we are with one of the biggest social media stars ever, fighting on perhaps the biggest global platform ever. I think this will be an event unlike any other. I think this has the potential to be the most viewed boxing event ever. I could easily see this fight attracting 100 million viewers." Meanwhile, in a press release that accompanied the announcement of the fight, Paul's manager Nakisa Badarian stated, "Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is a once-in-a-lifetime dream matchup, and we hope it will be the most watched boxing event in modern boxing history." He further added, "Partnering with Netflix Netflix presents an unparalleled opportunity to bring Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson to the world on an unprecedented scale, and we look forward to delivering this incredible clash of two of sport's biggest names. Moving on, Conor McGregor is among the many UFC celebrities who have been questioned about their opinions regarding the match. See what the Irishman had to say.
Thoughts on this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
Oh, jeez, I don't. It's a bit strange. You know, is my interest? The interest is a low one. I don't know. I don't really. I don't understand it.
Got it. Any difference between this one and?
I wish well for Mike.
We're gonna go. Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
On the other hand, Nate Diaz was quick to respond when asked which guy he thought would win their match, Tyson or Paul. He said that he doesn't give a at the beginning of the fight, but later told Inside Fighting that he believed Tyson would be the one with his arm raised at the conclusion.
Real quick, everyone wants to know your take, man. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, who you got?
No, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson all day, you're the man.
Similarly, UFC analyst Joe Rogan has maintained that Tyson still possesses the ability to destroy Paul. However, Rogan commented that people should overlook Jake Paul's YouTube background and focus on his fighting skills, emphasizing that the kid can indeed fight. He pointed out that the Tommy Fury fight demonstrated this, as it went to a split decision against a legitimate undefeated boxer. Rogan then added, "I don't give a if he's 55, that's still Mike Tyson. He trains with Rafael Cordero, who's a legend in MMA. He runs King's Mixed Martial Arts. Rafael is a world-renowned trainer. When you see him holding the MITs for Tyson and Tyson is smashing the mitts, Jesus, that guy can still fuck you up." Rogan further commented that in today's world of hormone replacement and vitamins, fighters like Mike Tyson utilize advanced recovery methods like electrical muscle stimulation. He emphasized that Tyson remains a formidable opponent who can inflict harm. Rogan added, "He does all this electrical muscle stimulation recovery stuff. When they were training Mike for that Roy Jones fight, they were using state-of-the-art science. I don't give a if he's 55 years old, that guy will hurt you. If Jake Paul's on the other side of the ring and he sees Mike Tyson bobbing and weaving, he's going to have a recognition. He's going to look over and go, oh my God, that's really Mike Tyson." Rogan further commented that at 55, while power may be the last thing to diminish, Tyson's speed is still intact, which he finds terrifying. He added, "And I don't know what he did with Roy Jones Jr., but in my mind, they made some sort of agreement where Mike wasn't going to punch him in the face because most of the hits he hit him with, unless it was a jab, was to the body." Mike Tyson hasn't held back in his opinions on Paul's journey in boxing so far. In April 2022, he openly discussed the 27-year-old's choice to enter the ring. Tyson said, "I love the fact he jumped into the game. People don't understand that boxing needs that. At this stage in boxing, the greatest fighters are not fighting each other. Boxing needs a guy like this." When Jake and Logan Paul persevered through a 5-division champion Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fight, Tyson was gushing over them both at the time. However, the former world champion made a straightforward prediction, saying he will destroy the brothers. Tyson said, "Jake's punches you can see coming a mile away. You can see that coming a mile away. I'm 55. I can see that coming a mile away. I would beat these fuckers. I'd go straight at them. There would be no boxing. The only thing I gotta do is be in shape. 30 days of boxing training every day and I can fight anyone. If I'm boxing every day, I wouldn't even have to worry about diet." Hearn commented that as a hardcore fight fan who has been involved with boxing since the age of 9, he finds it disgraceful that a 58-year-old man, who was his hero growing up, even has to consider getting back in the ring. He added, "I find it disgusting that a 58-year-old man firstly has to even get back in the ring. From a financial point of view, with the amount of money that man was paid or partially paid during his career, to get in a ring with a 25-year-old guy who can't really fight." He further stated that while he understood the event, he had voiced his concerns to the Netflix team, sensing they weren't pleased with his criticism of the event. Hearn emphasized his commitment to honesty, stating he would never sugarcoat his opinions. He acknowledged that the event would likely sell well and attract a large audience, but personally, he didn't approve of it. The promoter went on, "It's going to make a huge amount of money. You can understand Netflix's approach. If Tyson doesn't win quickly, he can't win. I don't believe the other guy is much of a fighter, but he's fit and he trains and he's young." Hearn commented that Tyson would likely struggle after just 2 rounds due to the physical demands of boxing at that level. He expressed concern about the dangers involved and mentioned that he finds the situation quite sad. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.